Okay, let's start the video. Last night, nobody won the Mega Million jackpots. I told you they were going to hold the jackpot as high as possible until the holiday comes. And remember, the incremental slowly increased because jackpot amount starts at 20 million, not 40 million. So if nobody wins Powerball, the next biggest jackpot would be Powerball. So they're not far behind each other, both jackpots. And on the other video, I did the Mega Million Powerball. It can be used for any game. I just mentioned two of the popular games, Mega Man Powerball. It works for Human Man, Mega Sienna, any other game. Even a low matrix game would definitely work. Low matrix game. Proven to hit the Mega Man with the Pentagon. I use two Pentagon. Now I'm going to show you one Pentagon. Why one Pentagon is as good as two Pentagon. And before you get started, you can email me for any illustration by part 1 and part 18 using my email hyper_links@yahoo.com. And nothing is guaranteed, but always trust yourself. Please be sure to email me to do any game prediction for any states. Here's the Invincible number chart again. Once again, I can remind anybody to follow the Invincible number chart. Now, last night's Mega Million was 200 million, but the Powerball is 192 million. So I'm going to start with the Mega Million first because I'm going to start with the Powerball first because the Mega Million passed and tonight is the Powerball. So at least you guys have a couple hours to figure out how to set the numbers. And they have start with 4, 5, 17, 43, 52, and 5. 5 numbers. We're going to use the Pentagon system, but let's get update on the number first. There we go. Last Mega Man, 8, first Invincible, 13 neutral, 35 neutral, 46 fourth Invincible, 68 fifth Invincible, and 16 is neutral, 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 neutral. And for Powerball, first Invincible, second Invincible, 4 and first Invincible, and then 5 is the first Invincible. So they skip the second Invincible. They didn't skip the second Invincible. They just continue with the first Invincible. Then they continue with the second Invincible on the third ball. And then 43 is neutral, 52 is neutral, 05 is neutral, and Pentagon pair system. Let's see how it works with these two games. And now, if you look back at the Mega Man, let's look back at the Mega Man. I'm going to look back at the Mega Man, and we're going to start something new first, new slide. And we're going to start with the numbers. And I'm going to go to my Mega Man chart. And what's the first number in the Mega Man chart? Will be 26. They start with high. So high is skip. It basically skipped the first Invincible, almost skipped the second Invincible. That 26 was a neutral number. As we speak of, they were pretty much neutral. And we have 33 and 45. He was also neutral. 45. Neutral again. That's why nobody hit the jackpot, because they were going out of order on the Mega Man. They were going out of order. 61 and 68. 61 was the code for last night. For those who got the list, 61 was the code. No hard numbers. The code is definitely 61. It's not hard to predict 61. Neutral. Oh my God. Neutral. Again, all these neutral numbers didn't help for last night's Mega Man. They were confusing people. 68 again. Didn't I tell you? I wasn't lying. I don't need to predict anything, because if you look at the fifth Invincible continue to be hot. That's why you don't want to go against a hot number. Fifth Invincible is hot. He only drew the fifth Invincible. So for those of you who followed through and played the fifth Invincible number, for those who had the list and played the fifth Invincible number, you would definitely catch the fifth Invincible. There's not much in fifth Invincible number, and I didn't think there was 260s. They pull a hanky panky. Didn't think there was 260, but fifth Invincible was 68. And 17 is neutral, so they didn't do anything with the Mega Ball. Also, it's not the Invincible. So you can see all these things. That's why they mess around with us, our heads. Mess around with our heads. No Invisible number. Last night was a bad draw. You can see that's why nobody won. Even so much tickets sold. That's how you know it's a bad draw, because if you look at the breakdown of each number, they went out of place. And the only number that hit was fifth Invincible. That's why nobody win. Now, they don't do that every time, so you gotta follow the rule. Now, let's go to the Pentagon system. So, the number that hit was 4, 5. So, let's start with the 4. I'm gonna go clockwise. 5. 17, 43, 52. 17. Remember, it's to organize a number. If you have a Pentagon pair system, you want to organize from low to high so you don't confuse yourself. So, as you can see, this was the Pentagon pair system, and it's 52, not 53. Pentagon pair system uses 1 Pentagon. Double Pentagon pair system uses 2 Pentagons. So that's the difference. So Pentagon was the Pentagon pair system. I used 1 pair. Now, these were the winning number drawn from last night. Now, let's see how you derive the winning number from the Pentagon pair system. Let's work backwards. Remember, if you don't know how to do an equation, sometimes you work backwards, right? Or you forget. You work backwards, and when you work backwards, you get to your starting point. That's how it works. So, since we don't know the winning combination, we work backwards. We don't know how to get to the winning combination, we work backwards. So let's work backwards to see how the winning combination would form. 04, 05. When you use the Pentagon pair, you should have 10 pairs of number. The code is isolated. Or you can move the code to here. That's how it works. You can either move the code to here, or you can move the code to center. When you move the code here, the code is paired with these 5 numbers instead. So I'm not going to move the code in there. I'm going to just put it in the center, so the code is not paired. You move it in the outer pentagon, and then you pair with the numbers. The code is paired with numbers. So, for instance, last night's Mega Man is 61. You can choose to put 61 in the middle, or you can pair with those numbers, your other 4 numbers. So 04, 05, 04, 17, 04, 43, 04, 52, and then you go to 05, 05, 17, and 05, 43, and 05, 52. That you have 7 number now. And you go to 1743, 1752, and 4352. 4352. So when you use the Pentagon, you should have 10 pairs of numbers. So you cover all numbers. So let's see how it works. Let's try to pair some numbers up. I'm going to duplicate the slide, and I'm going to cross out all the boxes out. Now, let's remind everybody where the winning numbers are, so you don't get confused. 04, 05, 17, 43, 52. So these are your winning combination. Am I correct? So these are your winning combination. And using the Pentagon pair system, that's how much, using one set of Pentagon, you can pair with a lot of combinations. Now, let's see which combination will you pair up correctly to form the winning number. So now, using the Pentagon pair system, 04 would be paste. I don't want to paste it, but I'm gonna paste it to do it quicker. 04, 05. Now, if you pair these two up, you still get a trio. If you pair these two up, because you cannot play 4 and 5 and 4 and 17 together to form a quadruplet, because the 4 would be played twice, and the 4 cannot be drawn twice. So when you combine these two, you form a trio. So that's what I'm talking about. When you combine these two, you still form a trio. So let's form a different combination. Now, if you combine these two numbers, for instance 4, 5, and you combine 4, 17, you get 4, 5, and 17. So from here, so you will hit 3 numbers. So 3 of the winning numbers were hit. Now, for instance, if you combine 4, 5, and 5, 17, you still get 3 numbers hit. That's why the 2 Pentagon pair system is different from 1 Pentagon pair system, because 2 Pentagon pair system use 2 sets of 5 numbers that are different. When you combine those 2 numbers, you form a quadruplet instantly. On this one, you gotta be combining with only 1 or 2 to form a quadruplet. Otherwise, you only form a trio using 2 pairs of numbers. So for instance, 04 and 05 can be formed with 17 and 43 and 43 to form a quadruplet. You see it? 04 and 05 and 17 and 43 to form a quadruplet, or 04 and 05 and 17 and 52 to form another quadruplet. So 04, 05, 17, 43, 04, 17, 43, 04, 05, 17, 52, 04, 05, 17, 52. Now, oh 04, 05, 43, 52. As you can see, you see that? Now you if you find the 5 or 4 right numbers, you get, and you don't have the code. You don't have the code correct, because the code is isolated, and the code, let's say the code is 06. 06 is the code, so I'm gonna be 06C is the code. I don't want to be 04, 05, 06. Okay, let's do a different number, 60. 60 is the code. So here's how it works. Can you form any other 4 number combination combining 2 pairs without having a same number in each pair be combined? Yes. 05, 52. And 1743. You can do a lot of combinations with these. So I'm gonna let you guys pick another one before I do the next step. Okay, now you can do 0552 and 17. And 0417. And then what happened with these is you need to play the code. Or you can play a random number in each one of these. Now, if you play the code, you wouldn't have hit 5 numbers. You only have hit 4 numbers correctly. You wouldn't have hit 5 numbers. You only have hit 4 numbers. Now, if you play a random number, besides the 5 number, you only have hit 4 number. You still only have hit 4 number with the Pentagon pair system. So imagine you combine all these tickets with a different combination with different set of pairs. Remember, the goal is to combine the pair of number. You don't want to use this part. So if you use one Pentagon, this one is no go. So no go. No go, because in order to form a quadruplet, you need to have another pair. So instead of using 3 pairs to form a quadruplet, you want to use less pair to form a quadruplet. So that's why you use 2 different pairs. Not 1 pair, you use 2 different pairs. If you want to form a quadruplet using 3 similar pairs, that would be much harder. So that's why I would advise you not to do that, because in order to get another number, you need to have another pair. So if you use one Pentagon pair system, then you must use 2 different pair. Why? Because 2 different pair, it's much easier to form a quadruplet than use 3 similar pairs. So to form a quadruplet, so you don't want to do that. Now, I don't have time to go through the Mega Man, so I'm going to do another scenario. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to copy this. So let's move one number out. I want to move one number out. I'm going to move 04 out as the code. No, I'm going to keep 60. 60 should be correct. Let's say the number that got drawn was the code was 04. No. Yeah, 60. Yeah, 60. Correct. Yeah, correct. Let's say 04 was the code. So here's how it works. Last night's code for Mega Man was 61. If you had my breakdown, we know that 61 was the code. 61 was the code. I put 61 as the code. if you use the Pentagon pair system and that is your code, I like the Pentagon pair system because I'm gonna try it for next week's. It's get higher. Might use the double Pentagon pair system, but I like the Pentagon pair system. Let's say 04 is the code. 04 would be at the center. Now 04 is the winning number. Let's say you pick the winning number. Let's say for last night I picked 61 correctly as the code. That's even better. So these combinations would be invalid. So let's start clockwise again. And because 60 is the highest number, I'm going to start with 05. Now it works even better because I don't have to shift the numbers again. 05, 17, 05, 43, 05, 52, 05, 60, 05, you go to next number, 17, 43, 17, 52, 17, 60, and 60 would be one of your Pentagon pair numbers. And then you go with 43, 52, 43, 52, 43, 60, 43, 60, and then you have 52, 60, 52, 60. So the Pentagon pair would look like this. Now, I'm not going to erase this, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate the slide so I don't lose that slide. And let's cut this down. So we're going to cut every number down. And show you how it works now. Now, for instance, since your Pentagon pair system and your code is 43, your code is 4 is your code, and your code is not part of the Pentagon pair. Let's see what's the difference between having the code as your Pentagon number and not having code as one of your Pentagon pair numbers. So now the winning number drawn was this, and again, let's see the winning combination. So now the code, I'm gonna highlight it because it's the code. I'm just giving an example. If that was the code, and your code is not one of the Pentagon pair, that's how you get the winning number. Now, let's do 5 combination with the pairing to form 2 pairs of winning combination. 05, 17, 05, 17, and you don't want 05 and 43. Remember, you don't want 05 and 43. If you have 05 and 43, you only form a trio. You don't want that. 05 and 17, let's go all the way down. 43 and 52. Would be one scenario that would get you 5 winning combination. 05 and 17 and 43 and 52. Now, 05 and 43. If you do 05 and 43, you need to do 17 and 52. 17 and 52. You see where I'm getting the pairs? Now, if you do 05 and 52, 05 and 52, you need 17 and 43. 17 and 43. These are the only 3 scenarios that will get you the winning combination. of 5 numbers. Now I'm going to isolate the 60. If you pair 05 and 60 with 43 and 52, I'm just giving you a scenario. 17 and 60, and you pair with 43 and 52 also. You can do that. Or you can do 43 and 60 and pair up with, let's say, 5 and 17. There's more combination with the 60 you can pair up to form quadruplet also, but I'm not going to go through them. I'm going to do 3, give you the scenario. And let's say you have the code was 04. So what do? You either choose to play all code on all lines, or you can play the code on most of the lines and have random numbers on a couple of them. So let's, for example, I might use the code for top 2 lines. Since I have confidence it's going to come out. Since I have confidence it's going to come 2 out, I'm going to use the code. Yeah. I'm going to use the code. Since I have the confidence that the 04 is going to come, I'm going to cover my lines. 66% of line will have 04, and the rest will have a different number. So for the random numbers, I'm gonna color it differently. I'm gonna give it blue. Maybe 68. So for the random numbers, I'm gonna color it differently, just because it's a random. So there we have it. Your last number is not hard to find, because once you have the Pentagon pair incorporated into a quadruplet, you have 04. Your code, you find the code correctly. Either it's there in your Pentagon, or it's not in your Pentagon. If it's in the Pentagon, it'll be hard to win, because the goal is to only use 2 pairs of numbers to form a quadruplet. The goal, not to use more than 2 in the Pentagon. Now, that's why you don't want to have the code be part of your Pentagon. If you think that number is going to have high chance of hitting, you pick one number you think is going to guarantee you the hit. Guarantee you the hit. That's why I name it the code Dster. If it guarantees the hit, you want to isolate the code in the center of the Pentagon. And you want to have 5 numbers that are good numbers to play around with the code. So, and then you form the pair using the 5 number in the Pentagon. And the number that has high to come out, you either play it on all lines or most of the lines, and then have some random number in case the code don't come. You have other numbers to back you up. So, for example, that I play 66% of the line with 04 and 33% of the line with some random number. So, now why do I play 04 twice when these numbers clearly align with 2 numbers? Why? Because second prize, if you hit 2 same tickets, you get 1 minute per ticket. Now, that's not playing the same line. Why? Because maybe your Powerball number is going to be different, because you don't want 2 same Powerball number. So, the Powerball number is going to be different. And Powerball numbers could be different. Now, imagine these were your picks. What happened? You would have 1 million or Jackpot. Same thing with this. You will have 1 million or Jackpot. And then for this, you will have either third prize or fourth prize, because the 19 wasn't drawn. So if you didn't get the 19 and the Powerball correct, you will have fourth prize of 4 number correct. If you get the number correct, all 4 numbers correct in the Powerball, you only get third prize. Third prize is like 5,000. On this one, you will get same thing. You'll get third or fourth prize because you have the code. No, third or second prize. Second prize because maybe you got the Powerball correct. This you get third and second prize. This one you also get third or second prize. Now for the last one, same thing. You will either get third or fourth. Not third, fourth or fifth prize. Fourth or fifth prize. That's how it works. Why? Why do you get fourth and fifth? Because 60 is not in the winning combination and 68 is not the winning combination. So with the Pentagon pair system, you see how good it is. You have substantially a high rate that who knows that you might be the lucky person, that you will have 2 tickets with the correct Pentagon pairs and the code. You have at least 2 tickets with $1 million guarantee, right? Now, if you choose to play all these combinations, these pairs, and you choose not to play 19, you choose to play 04, then you have 3 numbers with $1 million already. You have 3 tickets with $1 million. Depends on how confident you are with the code. I would go big and just go big on the code. I would only leave, let's say you play 10 lines, I would leave 1 line without the code with 1 random number. I would have 9 of the lines have the code. So if imagine 9 of the ticket hits, maybe 9 $1 million. I know there's a cutting point of how many $1 million there is that the state will give. I'm just giving you an example. So that's how it works. So if you like the video, I'm gonna give it back. If you like the video, please do subscribe, donate, share, and like my video. You can email me for the Pentagon pair for next week's drawing or tonight's next week's drawing because I won't be starting the Pentagon pair until next week. So be sure to subscribe, donate, and like my video, and email me at hyper_links@yahoo.com for any game prediction or requests.